There's a quiet truth that many of us begin to sense as we grow older, a truth that doesn't always come in the form of sudden pain, glaring symptoms, or flashing alarms. It comes instead in the form of subtlety, small, persistent signals our bodies send when something isn't quite right. One of the most overlooked of these signals is itchiness. Not the kind that comes from a mosquito bite or a new detergent, but the type that seems to show up uninvited, hangs around without cause, and defies every lotion and cream you try. As we move through our 60s, 70s, and beyond, these minor annoyances may actually be quiet messengers. While we often dismiss them, thinking they're just the cost of getting older, what if that itch was more than skin deep? What if it was a coded message, a gentle nudge from the inside, asking us to pay attention before something more serious develops? In truth, our skin is more than a barrier. It's an organ, the largest one we have, and it reflects much of what's happening inside us. A persistent itch can be an early clue of metabolic imbalance, organ dysfunction, stress, or even autoimmune conditions. Imagine someone like Margaret, in her late 70s, who enjoys her evenings with a slice of cake and an old movie. She's noticed an itch around her ankles, especially at night, and she's tried everything: thicker socks, heavier creams, and even switching detergents. Nothing seems to help. She doesn't have a rash, and her skin isn't visibly irritated, but the itch remains. What she doesn't know is that her blood sugar has been rising quietly over the past few years, moving her closer and closer to prediabetes. High blood sugar can cause nerve damage even before a diagnosis, and the first place it often affects is the feet and ankles. That's because circulation tends to weaken at the extremities, and the nerves there are more sensitive. Dry skin, tingling, and itching in this area may all be early indicators of a systemic problem. Now imagine if Margaret had recognized the itch for what it was, not a nuisance, but a warning sign. With a few small lifestyle changes, walking after dinner, reducing processed sugar, increasing fiber, she could potentially reverse course. She could shift from a trajectory of decline to one of prevention. And that's the key. Listening to the body's whispers before they become screams. The same applies to other areas too. Take the back, for instance, particularly the upper and middle regions. Itching there, especially if it wakes you at night or lingers despite moisturizers, could point to something internal. The liver and kidneys are your body's natural filters. They process waste, metabolize medications, and regulate vital nutrients. When they're overworked or underperforming, toxins may build up in the bloodstream. One of the body's responses is to push those toxins outward, and since the skin is a detox organ too, it responds. Often subtly. Itchy, irritated skin, particularly in areas rich in nerve endings like the back, may indicate your filters are clogged. Consider Evelyn, who recently noticed her back itching more than usual. She changed her soap. Then her diet. Then her clothes. But nothing helped. She's also been a bit more tired lately, and she's noticed some swelling in her ankles by the end of the day. These are classic signs that her kidneys or liver might not be working optimally. The issue may not be acute enough to be obvious: no pain, no jaundice, just a whisper in the form of itch. A simple blood panel could reveal a slightly elevated creatinine level or sluggish liver enzymes, offering early insight and time to act. Staying hydrated, reducing alcohol, avoiding excessive salt and sugar, and supporting the liver with foods like leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables could offer real relief. Now move upward to the scalp and neck. These areas are incredibly sensitive and often respond quickly to changes in the nervous system. Chronic itching here, particularly without dandruff or visible irritation, can often be a sign of stress. Our bodies weren't designed to endure chronic emotional or psychological tension. In younger years, stress hormones like cortisol surge and fall back down with resilience. But as we age, the body becomes less forgiving. Prolonged stress can lead to inflammation, immune dysregulation, and nerve hypersensitivity. Lila, who recently retired, has been feeling more anxious than she expected. The structure and rhythm of work are gone, and though she enjoys her quiet afternoons, something feels off. She's also noticed a persistent itch on her scalp. And sometimes her neck, not enough to panic, but enough to bother. She's tried new shampoos and ruled out allergies. But the truth is, her nervous system is on high alert. Chronic cortisol is affecting her skin's nerve endings, and they're misfiring as itch. What she really needs isn't a new soap, it's a way to soothe her mind. Simple rituals, a 10-minute morning walk, limiting screen time, breathing exercises, or even reconnecting with a social circle, could help rebalance her system and ease the itch in a way no topical product ever could. Then there are the arms and hands. These parts of the body often tell a story too. When they begin to itch persistently, especially at night, it may be time to look at your thyroid or immune function. The thyroid, a small gland in the neck, controls metabolism, temperature regulation, and much more. When it becomes underactive, a common condition in aging, especially among women, symptoms can include dry skin, cold sensitivity, thinning hair, and yes, itching. Grace has experienced this. Her hands itch every evening, just as she's settling down. Her energy is lower, and she's always chilly, even in the summer. She thinks it's just aging, but a quick thyroid panel reveals that her TSH is elevated, a sign her thyroid is slowing down. With proper treatment, her symptoms, including the itch, begin to fade. But it's not just thyroid imbalance that causes this. Autoimmune conditions like eczema or psoriasis can become more common with age as the immune system starts misfiring. What once protected us may now turn on us subtly, leading to inflammation, redness, and dry, itchy skin. Again, recognizing the signs early can lead to powerful interventions, dietary anti-inflammatories, topical treatments, stress reduction, or immune-modulating support. Beyond these specific causes, general age-related skin changes also play a role. As we get older, our skin produces less oil and retains less moisture. All of this makes it more susceptible to irritation. But even here, the body isn't betraying us. It's asking for gentler care. More hydration. Less hot water. Fewer harsh soaps. Better fabrics. And maybe most importantly, more attention. More listening. More trust in the idea that the body, even when uncomfortable, is trying to protect you. What seems small, an itch on the foot, a dry patch on the back, a tingling in the scalp, might be your earliest warning system, inviting you to pause and investigate. These moments offer the chance to prevent rather than treat, to support rather than correct, to respond rather than react. It's a shift in how we view health, not as something we only think about when we're sick, but something we tune into daily. That's the beauty of these symptoms. They may seem inconvenient, but they're actually deeply helpful. Because if we wait until the body is screaming, the path to healing becomes harder. But when we listen while it's whispering, the path forward. So what can we do when we notice persistent, unexplained itching? We can start by asking questions. Have there been other changes in my health? Am I more tired, more stressed, or sleeping poorly? Has my diet shifted? Am I drinking enough water? Have I checked my blood sugar, thyroid levels, or kidney function recently? These questions aren't meant to create worry, they're meant to create awareness. Because the goal is not to live in fear of every sensation, but to cultivate a relationship with our bodies that's built on curiosity and respect. Itchiness may be common, but that doesn't mean it's meaningless. In fact, it may be one of the most meaningful signs you'll get. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's early. Because it's subtle. Because it's the kind of sign you can still do something about. That's the power of listening. The skin is a storyteller, and every sensation it gives is a sentence in your health's unfolding narrative. You don't need to panic, just pay attention. Get regular checkups. Stay active. Feed your body whole, nourishing foods. Reduce your exposure to stress, toxic products, and negative inputs. Support your organs with hydration, sleep, and gentle detoxification. And when something feels off, even if it seems small, honor that signal. Because you deserve to feel good in your body, and your body deserves to be heard. The older we get, the more important that partnership becomes. Not because age is a problem to fix, but because age is a gift to protect. And the more we tune into the messages it sends, the more we learn how to thrive in every stage of life. The itch, in all its forms, is just one way your body says, I'm still here. I still matter. Please take care of me. And when you do, something beautiful happens. Your health begins to respond, not just at the surface, but deep within. You're not just scratching a symptom, you're healing the system. And that changes everything.